So, for the past few weeks at Kanawha Christian Reformed Church, we've been giving suggested Bible readings for each day. We've been going through a plan together that goes through the life and ministry of Jesus Christ. Now, during this time of social distancing, when I don't get to visit and be with members of the church as often as I normally am, I thought a good way to maybe try to stay in contact would be to do something with these daily Bible readings. So I have a plan here. It's not going to be anything fancy. I'm not going to preach a sermon or anything like that, but I thought I could make a short recording of me reading the passage for the day and maybe offer one thought, one thing that stood out to me. So today is Wednesday, March 25th. And our passage is John 6, 1 through 15. Sometime after this, Jesus crossed to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee, that is, the Sea of Tiberias, and a great crowd of people followed him, because they saw the signs he had performed by healing the sick. Then Jesus went up on a mountainside and sat down with his disciples. The Jewish Passover festival was near. When Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming toward him, he said to Philip, "Where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?" He asked this only to test him, for he already had in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered him, "It would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." Another of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "Here is a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish. But how far will they go among so many?" Jesus said, "Have the people sit down." There was plenty of grass in that place, and they sat down. About 5,000 men were there. Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. When they had all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, "Gather the pieces that are left over. Let nothing be wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with the pieces of the 5 barley loaves left over by those who had eaten. After the people saw the sign Jesus performed, they began to say, "Surely this is the prophet who is to come into the world." Jesus, knowing that they intended to come and make him king by force, withdrew again to a mountain by himself. As I thought about this passage, I was struck by just how little food there was. Here's a boy that has enough food for lunch for him. Maybe it's a big lunch. It seems like there's nothing. And yet then Jesus acts and there's this abundance. There's more than enough for everyone. There's leftovers, a basket full of leftovers for each disciple. And this is the power of God at work. It seems sometimes that we have nothing, but God is able to give us more than we need. So that's my thought on this passage. If you have thoughts of your own, something that stood out to you, something that raised questions, feel free to comment and share those with the rest of us. If you have feedback on this new idea I'm trying out, ideas to make it better or different, you can leave those too. But thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.